All right, you burritos, this is day 4. Welcome back. We're gonna go over some more I'm gonna give a little bit of a status update of where we're at now, and then I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do today. This is day 4 of wiring up this beautiful 1969 F100. If you don't know the history of this truck, I bought this from Andy McMillan about 2.5, 3 years ago, and we got it fixed up by Evan Weller up there in the States, and then we drove it back to Cabo in the Nora. We did a little bit of damage to the frame under here. Some of the old plating had rusted out, and then we had it all replated by my buddy Patrick out in Los Barriles, and then it got painted and new glass. And the last final step in all this is updating all the interior, and we rewired the whole thing. I kind of got carried away during the COVID process and took it on myself, and then we're gonna there's the new dash. Well, it's the same dash. It was welded up. The new dash was welded up, and we've got 2 screens from AEM Electronics, and I'm very excited to be running all modern CAN bus equipment. And we got a Motec keypad and 2 PDMs. Today we are going to attempt to get the breakers installed in here, which are sitting in the back of the center console, that power the AC and the power windows, some USB chargers, and then the switch, the 12-volt switch on that needs to remain outside the PDM in case we shut down the PDM. We need to be able to turn everything back on. So it's a bit of a process, and that is currently sitting on the center console, which sits here. So it's pretty cool. It's really clean. It's in back there, out of the way, and those are the breakers. I need to wire the breakers, so I've got a DT12 coming in and a DT12 coming out. So it's one connection, because I still want this to be removable. So the difficult part at the moment is being able to mock everything up with those mounted on there. So I'm going to undo those and just run them here on a piece of metal for now before we do a final test fit. Getting this cab stuff organized and just working out where we're going to route it. The second PDM is on its way down. Hardwired Performance got that all pinned out for us, and it's going to be coming unterminated on the other ends, and I'm going to terminate and route it correctly. So let's get at it. So before I tear all this apart, this is basically the setup for the breakers on the inside, and one of these will be a DT12 in, one will be a DT12 out, and then we'll also have the power for the switch that comes down into the PDMs. So there you go. That's how it looks like now. Just got to reverse them. My brain with this center console piece, and I realized we got the cigarette lighters in there, so I need to run a ground through the 12. So I've got the Windows ones pinned out. It's a 10 gauge into 3 14s that pass through. So we got 39 amps there. Then this one here, I've just got it working. I'll put the little loops in that one. This one didn't have them, kind of slacked off. This one will work, and then that's for the the AC. So we got Windows, AC. I printed it out so I don't forget. And then we got a ground through there at the Stellar, a USB, and then the 12-volt switch. I'm not going to run the positive switch back through because I realize I don't need to. And then this is all going to attach inside the center console, and it's going to be like zip tied on there. So I was a little worried about that if you're pulling it in and out, but it'll be fixed, and then I'll put a boot over it. Gives me a little bit of cheater room, and it'll still land nice on here. It's going to be zip tied up under there, so she'll stay out of the way. Everything will be along the back. Then you can either remove this to unplug it and reach down, or obviously pop this off. And it's a little update here on progress. I got this thing almost done for the breakers. So I've just been doing these splices to use this DT12. So these are just the inline splice that I'm going to put over. Just same there. Got a 10 gauge in and 3 14 gauges out to pass through the maximum. So we got 39 amps for each circuit, and it's a 30 amp breaker, so I think that should be perfect. Accessories. So pretty cool. I think it's pretty clean. I was happy to be able to do it just with 2 connectors, and then I did use my brain for once, and these are the USBs that stay inside the console, so those will be zip tied up, and not the USBs, but they're cigarette lighters, but the same thing to charge. All right, we got the breakers dialed. This is the power into the breaker, then it distributes through this sealed bus thing. Then this is the power out to the breaker, or out to the devices. So I've still got the grounds through there. That's a bit sloppy, and I've still got the switch through there. I'm going to eventually put a switch, 12-volt switch that goes all the way up there, runs back, and jumps back out to there. So it's got 12-volt switches everywhere, because we just keep needing to tap into them. All right, we got cockpit light. We got lights on the... We got windows through the breaker. Excellent. And this is all the exact final length that everything will run here and join. So it's just flip-flopping around, but because it's on that. But excellent. We're working. Windows are on the thing, so let's pull the fuse. And they don't work. Reset the fuse. It's a beautiful thing.
That he made it.
All right, we are at the end of day 4 here. I've got my helper out here. And I just completed this chaotic mess that was killing me. However, we're good. We've got the power into the breakers, out to the breakers, then it comes out here and goes to the switch. And this is just obviously wired temporary. So this switch will kill everything. Then it goes back into this DT12. Then I got power inside the center console if we need anything. I've got the USBs powered up inside the center console. And I've got it coming back out here on this one to those. So it goes in and then it loops back out. So we only have one connector. I thought that was the cleanest way to do it. It kind of beat my head up a little bit, but we got it finally. So the breakers are all working. The 12-volt switches are all on a breaker, so it'll wake up the PDM, the other PDM. This thing will be on it. The whole CAN network's on it. So basically, that's on and off.
But I helped this part.
And she helped me wire it up. She did some crimping on the little the connectors we made for the switch, just so this is now removable. This was hardwired to the battery the whole time before, so a bit sketchy. So we've got everything looking good. I think we're gonna call it a night. Are you ready? Shut it down for the night. You want to play with anything?
Oh, lights.
We got lights on in there, so
It worked.
it looks a lot worse actually, but it needed to look worse before it can look better. So this is going to stay out temporarily, and then it's going to all be mounted into that center console.
That one?
Yeah, it goes in there. That's where it lives. So
And I'm guessing this is a container where you put the water?
those are the drink holders, yep.
I'm smart.
Uh-huh. All right, guys. Well, that's it. End of day 4. We're going to wrap it up with, give them a little shout out.
Whee!
All right. Thanks for watching. Give us a like, a subscribe.